Hello guys, and welcome to Monaco in another edition of this F1 2014 100% race career mode. And as you can see here, the conditions for qualifying are less than stellar at the moment. We are getting ready for Q1 here, and it is basically raining cats and dogs by the looks of it. I haven't been out on the track yet, as the training session yesterday was in nice and sunny conditions, but today is a totally different story. And as you can see here, the conditions on track here are basically appalling, and I'm not really sure whether or not we are going to be able to even progress from Q1 here into Q2, because the conditions are absolutely horrendous. We are sliding left and right, wheel spin all over the place, and I have no idea how the AI cars are going to fare in this mayhem that is the Monaco track right now. But we are coming up on our first qualifying lap here, and we're only going to be doing the one lap. I don't think we're going to be doing it any better no matter what we do, and just hope that it's enough to get us into Q2 here. And judging by the times here, everybody is way down and nobody really seems to be performing well, so we managed to get into Q2 in a temporary fifth here. And Kimi Räikkönen is the only real notable name who does not progress into Q2, so that's a bit of a surprise here. Our first lap in Q2 here, conditions still absolutely appalling. However, we did seem to get a little bit better feel for the track here in this session, and are going to come up on time that is 1:26.872. That's a lot better actually than our Q1 time, so at least that's an improvement there. But we are feeling a little frisky here, so we're going to be staying out for an extra lap here and see if we can improve on this one. 1:26.302, so we managed to chop off another half of a second there, but are still only in a temporary seventh there, and that's basically as good as we can go. And we do manage to get into the shootout here in 9th place, but we are in the shootout, and that is a positive. Jumping to Q3 here, this is going to be our first lap. As you can see, the track conditions have improved quite significantly right now, and we are out on intermediates, and the grip on the track is a lot better at this point. So there might even be a chance of us cracking the top 5 here. At least that's what I'm aiming for. Just happy to be in the shootout the way things are here, so it'll be interesting to see how we fare. 1:23.739. Much better than our Q2 time, obviously, due to the track conditions, but it's going to be difficult to say how this time is going to stack up against the AI cars. We stay out for another lap. They're just clipping the barrier coming through the chicane, getting some damage to the front wing. Shouldn't be too bad. A little bit down on their sector time there, but I still feel this is going to be a much better lap than our previous one, so we stick to it here and see how it goes. Massa is in temporary pole right now, 1:28.840. We do a 1:23.087. That's over half a second better than our last lap. So definitely an improvement, but it only gives us about 7th on the grid, which I guess under the circumstances is more than acceptable. Jenson Button is in 4th, and he could definitely use some success here at Monaco. Pit stop strategy, as you might be able to make out there in the background, there's about a 30% chance of rain here during the race. So I guess no matter what kind of strategy we come up with, there's bound to be some sort of rain shower or prolonged period of rain that's probably going to throw a wrench into any plans we make. So it's going to be, we're just going to wing it as we go along, I guess. Getting ready to get off the grid here. Kvyat on our left there gets a pretty good start. Paris has a horrible start there, and there's a gap there right in between the two cars. We managed to squeeze through them there and not get tangled up with anyone in turn 1. So we have Button riding directly ahead of us right now. Bottas is in front of him. I can't really see who's in front of Bottas there, but we just back off a little bit here not to get caught in too much dirty air here coming through the casino part of the track, and see if we can't outbrake some of the cars here coming down into the slow right-hander there. We get another position there, so we pass Button, our teammate there, and Bottas just diving down the inside of Bottas here in the hairpin, and we are up to P3 already, having Rosberg immediately ahead of us there, and Massa is in the lead right now. I don't know if you saw it on the grid there, but Hamilton failed to register a time in Q3. I'm not really sure why that was, so he starts way down in 10th position on the grid. Coming through the Nouvelle chicane here, the AI cars seem to be braking very early for this part of the track, and right now we seem to be able to match both Rosberg and Massa easily. Actually, we're dropping back a little bit here. Don't want to get caught too much in Rosberg's dirty air, because if we lose the front of the car in one of these turns, we are almost certainly going into the barrier. And with the damage mod that we're running, that's an extra from the race right there. So, lap 1 status, we are in P3, up 4 places from our starting position on the grid. That's very positive indeed. And not only that, but we also seem to be very competitive right now. We did seem to lose a little bit of ground there on the straight. We're running a full downforce setup basically due to the conditions during qualifying, in which it was raining cats and dogs basically. So we are on full downforce, full wing, full everything. And apparently that's giving us an advantage in the majority of the track there, and giving us a little bit of a disadvantage on the straight. But I guess that doesn't matter. We squeeze down the inside of Rosberg here, coming through the hairpin there. No contact. We do get a warning for corner cut, and sorry about that, guys. But we are into P2 here, coming out on the straight, running very wide indeed. They're almost clipping the barrier. Going purple on lap 3 here, closing the gap on Massa. We are way faster than he is right now. I'm not sure whether he's running in fuel conservation mode or not, but at this point we are just looking for a place to pass him, because we are lapping with a pace that he cannot match right now. Also, we're opening up a bit of a gap down to Rosberg there. He's about a second down on us right now, so there won't be any DRS for him on the straight there. Not that it's going to matter much there. Again, braking into the chicane. The AI cars are very early on the brakes there, and we almost crash into the back of Massa there. Had to evade a little bit to the right, so almost losing the car too. Giving him a little bit of distance here. Do not want to get caught in this dirty air of his, and hopefully we're going to be able to find a suitable place to pass and just pounce on the opportunity once it presents itself. Just having the back end of the car here step out a little bit as we come out on the straight. Gives Massa a little bit of breathing room right now as we go purple by a second and a half, so we're really moving at this point, and we are actually running in fuel conservation mode. Rosberg, no slouch either, as he puts in the fastest lap immediately after we did, and we are closing the gap on Massa one more time here. Gonna have a look down the inside here as we come down into the right-hander here at the bottom, and just managing to squeeze down the inside there. There's not a whole lot of room there, but we make it stick, and we are into P1 of the Monaco Grand Prix. Jumping ahead to lap 7, we are opening up a gap down to Felipe Massa of about 3 seconds right now. He's tangling with Rosberg, who has Bottas immediately behind him. So our pace is very good at this point, and we're not even pushing all that hard, seeing as we are probably going to be going on these option tires for at least 25 laps, hoping for a rain shower or something like that so we can go in and make the switch to intermediates. Jumping ahead to lap 11, we go purple one more time, almost by a full second here. Massa is now 5.5 seconds down on us, still tangling with Rosberg. Coming up on lap 14 here, trying to lap past Maldonado. We've been trying to pass him here for a good 3 or 4 corners right now, but he just keeps getting in the way. And I guess for the AI, it's as much a challenge to get out of our way as it is for us to get past him. So anyway, finally we managed to pass him, but it appears that both Massa and Rosberg have at least chewed off 3 or 4 seconds of our lead there, so that's not too good. Lap 19, we are coming up to lap Sebastian Vettel, and he too is having problems getting out of the way here. Him trying to get out of the way actually holds us up more than if he would just keep on racing instead of slowing everybody down, because he slows down, tries to get out of the way, then just pulls back into the racing line there again and again and again. We finally managed to pass him here coming out on the finishing straight. So little bit of trouble here with the back markers, but that was to be expected. That's just the way this track is, and there's nothing we can do about that. Skipping ahead to lap 24 here, more back markers. This is going to be easy though. This is Kimi Räikkönen on the finishing straight. We do another fastest lap here, going purple by almost a second here again, and we're actually doing it on tires that should have been changed 4 laps ago. Also, as you can see, the weather has improved quite dramatically here over the last 4 or 5 laps, so the track temperature obviously is up, which helps. And on lap 29, we are coming in for our first stop of the race here. And again, I am still expecting the rain to come down at some point. So we are going to be changing to another set of options here instead of a set of primes. And by the looks of it there, I believe Rosberg went into pit and Massa is still out on track as far as I can see there. So, and just as we rejoin the track here, there is a safety car deployed as we are out in second position here. That will give us a chance to close the gap on Massa, so that's a positive. But we are now down to 13 running cars, and we're only on lap 32. Safety car going to be in this lap. Massa has been into pit, meaning we are back in first position here, and we are on completely fresh tires that we just need to get up to temperature here, and we should be able to put in some really decent laps. Lap 37, we have a pretty nice gap down to Massa of about 8 seconds right now. But as you can see, the sky has gotten a little overcast and the sun is now gone. Just getting a warner there for corner cut. And they are really strict about that turn 1, I have to say. So it'll be interesting to see whether there's going to be a rain shower now, as it definitely looks like that could very well be the case. And skipping right ahead here to lap 43, as you can see, the rain has now started. Just clipping the cone there. Thankfully, no damage to the front wing. It is very light at the moment, but it is raining. So I would expect at some point we are going to have to come in and make the change to intermediates. So far, I guess our tire strategy has held up nicely, as we have had 2 pretty decent stints on the option tires here, and are eventually going to make the change to intermediates. And on lap 45, there is enough water on the track for us to make the change. And we have basically all the time in the world to do it, as we have a 9-second gap down to Felipe Massa, who I also expect to be coming in. As a matter of fact, it looks like he's right behind us there. So we should be rejoining in a status quo situation. And hopefully this rain isn't going to be as bad as it was in qualifying. And also give credit where credit is due. It appears that Jenson Button is now building on his fine Barcelona form there, and is currently running in P3 in what appears to be a very solid race. Jumping to lap 49, this is turning out to be outright rain and not just a light drizzle anymore. The track conditions are still for intermediates, but it's going to be interesting to see whether or not they stay this way, because if the rain intensifies or just stays like this for a while, we are definitely going to be making the switch to full wets at some point. On lap 54, Massa is now closing the gap on us ever so slightly. Not so much because he is driving particularly fast, but more so because we are taking it very easy in these conditions. Like I said earlier, if you just touch the barriers with this damage mod, there is a good chance that you're going to be putting yourself out of the race, and seeing as we are leading the race, we do not want to put ourselves in that position. Jumping ahead to lap 56, you can see the gap is now down to 1.5 seconds there, just as we have the back end step out a little bit here. That's what you got to be careful with under these conditions, just getting on the throttle too much, and before you know it, you're going to be in the barrier. But on this track, catching somebody is one thing, passing them is a totally different matter. And as you can see here on lap 63, the rain has now stopped, and we are basically just waiting for the call from the pit crew there to come in and make the switch back to another set of options that we can finish the race on. Lap 65, and track conditions again have improved so much that we can make the switch to options. This is going to be our last pit stop. We have Massa coming in right behind us there. Hopefully he's not going to get out ahead of us. He doesn't, and we are going to be rejoining the track here in P1. So all we have to do now, well, all we have to do is just stay clean. No stupid mistakes here the rest of the way. Do not give Massa the chance to pass us anywhere, and definitely stay clear of any barrier contact. You do not want to touch the barriers here. If we can accomplish this, we should have a decent chance of winning this race. And as you can see right here on lap 67, without really pushing the car or anything like that, we've already opened up a gap down to Felipe Massa there of about a second and a half there. So that's a very positive. It seems that we have the pace when we need it to just pull away like 1 or 2 seconds there. So we put in the fastest lap here on lap 72, and Massa is still running about a second down on us. This is looking very good. The tires are feeling extremely good, and the car is driving well. Skipping ahead here to lap 75, going purple one more time, coming through the chicane here. Just having the back end step out a little bit there, managed to recover, but giving Massa the chance to get right up on our bumper there as well. Running a little wide here too, probably due to the tires just getting warmed up a little bit too much there in the spin. And we still managed to go purple for the lap, even though we managed to goof up the last couple of corners there. So we definitely have some pace right now. Sector 3, lap 78, final lap of the race here. We are coming up on a set of back markers here, but I'm not sure whether or not it's going to matter, as I don't think we're going to be able to catch him before the finishing line. This is Pastor Maldonado one more time. Oh God, I'm happy I didn't catch him about half a lap ago. Finishing line coming up. This is going to be our second win in a row in a race, and I feel that we dominated from start to finish, and quite the opposite of Barcelona. I actually felt like we really deserved this win. This one felt good. I thought the car was handling extremely well, and although we were lucky that both the Mercs had trouble and did not finish the race, I thought we actually owned this one from start to finish. So a really good weekend for the team here as we take positions 1 and 3 with Massa just wedged in there sort of between us. And just look at the count of cars that did not finish this race. Wow, that is carnage right there. And as a huge surprise here after the Monaco Grand Prix, we are leading the championship race with Lewis Hamilton in second and Felipe Massa in third. And look at Nico Rosberg, how far back he is. This has not been his season so far. As always, guys, if you enjoyed this, please don't forget to leave a like or subscribe to this channel for more F1 2014. And I'll be back soon enough. Bye-bye.